All right, so we got most of the filler done on this. It's all blocked out with 180. I got a little spot right in here. I got to do a little feathering, and I got a little spot right there where my weld is kind of high. I might have to build this up and feather it down that way. And on the hood, I found multiple more dents, but which still. So we got this pretty good. Got to finish sanding that. Found out there was another low spot there, and there's a couple chips that need to be sanded down on the edge of the. I'm gonna have to grind this down on the edge here. I don't know what's going on under there. I don't know if that's rust or, but I'm gonna grind that down to bare metal. When I blocked it out, there's a low spot there. There's a low spot there. All this was flat boarded with 180 with the 18-inch. And then what I did with this was, I don't know if you can see how nasty those are, you know, from being painted before. It just got nasty. So I took my batteries are still on charge. Okay, that's a good thing. So I just took my old Ryobi. I use this old Ryobi just as a throwaway for junk, but it still works good. So what I did was I took this bit here and I put it in the drill, and I went back and forth in there, and I got to get some like the rolls of sandpaper, and I'm gonna sand in here. But this one looks 100% better. You can see how wider that the openings are compared to that one when you look at it. And it's just got lots of crap in it, so try to clean that up, because you know you only get one shot at the finish paint, so try to make everything as good as you can. So all in all, coming together. Like I said, we got this all primed. This came out pretty well. Got a couple places to touch up, but you know, I talked to my buddy, which he's been a body guy many years, and he said, don't worry about that. He's like, you're not in final finish paint stage anyway. So what we do is get all the body work done on everything, get everything in primer, and then before we're ready to paint, we block the whole car again, then put guide coat on it, and then you touch up, and then you do a primer sealer, and then your top coat. So alrighty, we will show you once we get primer on this stuff. So we're still working on the fender and the hood. We got all this body work really good down here. Just got to go over it with some 220, and then we'll shoot it with the high build primer. Found a little filler in there. All this came out pretty good, considering. Got help again today. And we got these cleaned up pretty well. I still want to sand them more. I'm not crazy about how they look. I want to just got to spend some time on them. You know, take a little piece of sandpaper and just kind of go back and forth like that. Got this low spot filled. Got to finish sanding that. Got it cut. Got this low spot filled. Got it cut, but we got to finish sanding. Same here. Same here. And I still have to work on this side of the hood. But we're trying to get this side done. And I'm going to work on the top of this fender now and make sure this is straight. But I had to hang the fender back on there to make sure. Of course, none of this is level, but I got to make sure it's straight to the hood also. So we're getting there, moving along. And I did notice that repair I did on the bottom of the fender on the inside. I'm going to have to cut that brace because where it bends up, it hits on the bottom, so the fender can't go up and up. Not a big deal. I just got to take 2 little slices off that brace and reprime it. Not a biggie, but just something you find as you go along. So alrighty, we're going to get going more sanding and pick you up when we make more progress. So we got the fender and half the hood all blocked out. I noticed right here, got a little low spot right there, so I got to do a little touch up there. This all seems pretty good here. I still got to do this half of the hood. Kind of can't reach it, but I'll probably stretch over and get it. got this sanded down. Got to do a little more touching up, probably like with 100 grit, right like that, just to get the worst of that. And so I did that a little bit this morning. Now I'm working on, what I did is I had these old Oldsmobile wheels in the back, and I'm just kind of cleaning. They were all muddy and stuff. I'm cleaning these up because I'm going to put these on the car. These will be basically my work wheels, so this way if they get paint on them or overspray or whatever, it's not going to hurt anything. But they're the Rally 1 wheels. There's actually two Rally 1 wheels that are chrome, one Rally 1 that somebody had painted, and that's actually a Pontiac wheel. Looks very similar, but it is. So whatever, it's not a big deal. It's just going to be on the car so I can roll it out when I pull the body off the frame. So we moved the hood off of the engine and put it on horses here. Got a little bit different perspective on how things look with the grates. Now, I had done this one and it was pretty decent. There was a few things, but this one was just horrible. I mean, you can see all this stuff that, and all I'm doing is taking a little deburr bit, going back and forth, and then I got to actually sand it in there. So, you know, I was thinking, you know, if I'm sitting in the driver's seat, things are going to look totally different. So I'm glad that I did this, and this is probably the proper way to do it anyway. So got a little bit, I finished all the body work pretty much. You can see a little here and there. I did have to do a little baby patch right there, about a 1 inch by, I don't know, 1.5 inches. It was rusted through, so I just cut it out and put a little patch in. Didn't show anybody, but right here there's a little tiny, you can see there's a dark spot. There's a little tiny low spot, same as over there. And right in here there's a little low spot too, so I'll probably smear that. But all in all, you know, I never even thought about the hood because I really didn't have to do any like fabricating on it. I'm like, oh, I'll just sand it and paint it. No, definitely not. You know, once you start blocking, you find out, you know, the hood takes all the dings and everything, and now I'm just dreading the roof. The roof looks great, but who knows once I start block sanding. So I don't know. We'll see once we get it all blocked out and feathered out. And like I said, this is taking a lot more time than I realized, but it's kind of like everything else. So all right, well, I can't close the door unfortunately where this is at, but once I get this done, fender is done. All I got to do is a quick sand over everything. Got low spots all taken care of. That's all done. So once I'm done with this hood, I'm gonna paint this fender and that hood. I'm gonna prime them, put them in primer, and then I'll probably put them down the far end where the Mustang is, just out of way of storage. And then we're gonna finally, hopefully within a couple of days. I haven't been working on it super much. Been doing a lot of other things. Had the truck this morning, got stuck in the driveway over at the house, and that was interesting. So I'm sure we'll have a little video on that. But all right, well, we will update you when we get all the body work done and we're ready to paint or prime. Car's back on the ground, draining antifreeze out. Yeah, we did spill some. Gonna pull the radiator, pull some stuff off of here, and we are gonna back it out today. And we are gonna get this primed and that primed today. What we're gonna do is back it out of here. Well, push it out of here, not back it. And we will put this outside, blow everything out. We'll prime this. Once this stuff dries, move it down to the far end, and then we're gonna turn the car around and push it in backwards. And then we can take the rest of the stuff. I'm just trying to remove a few things off the motor here. Trying to let it warm up outside a little bit. Like it's like 50. It's not horrible, but we'll get it. And gonna disconnect a bunch of stuff and take a few things off this motor that I want, some accessories. Other than that, motor and transmission are going to scrapyard. So it's a shame. It's good running 307, but got no use for it. So can't keep everything anymore. Just not worth it, especially with that kind of motor. So all right, well, once we get this pushed out and everything and move, when we're ready to paint, we will show you. Okay, we got first coat of primer on the hood and on the fender. And I also did scuff this in here because I wanted to get primer on the inside there. Laid out pretty decent. It is primer, so I don't know how good. I mean, it doesn't lay out like paint, but there's my different patterns. I tried to, that was kind of the one I went with. I don't know, that's probably a little bit better. It's a little heavier. But it seems like every time I shoot, like every time I refill the gun, I got to reset the gun, the fan pattern. But is what it is. That's actually a pint of paint right there, so I got to mix up another pint. But that's the first coat, and then the second coat I'll lay on pretty heavy, and then that'll be it, because it's just sand and fill primer. So we'll go from there, and one more coat, we'll let this stuff dry, and then bring it down the far end and get that car turned around. All right then. All right, 2 good coats of primer on this. It halos a little bit, but my buddy said that's typical for high build primer. Got 2 good heavy coats on it, so it should be good to block down. And at some point, what we're doing now is just sealing it, basically. Waiting for that to dry. We're gonna move them down the far end. I'm in the process of trying to turn the car around. Of course, the car doesn't run, so Graham has been helping pushing it with the lawnmower, push it back, then we'll push it that way, then push it that way, a little bit back and forth. It's the redneck way to do it, but we'll get it done. That's what we do. So good thing for good strong help there. All right, we will show you once it's in the shop.